Good day and welcome to the Thursday, July 22nd edition of the Horizon Communications Sports Brief. I'm Earl Baston. We are just one day away from competition for Bermuda as Dara Alazade will compete in the men's singles sculls, and then later in the evening he will carry the Bermuda flag at the opening ceremony for the Tokyo Olympic Games. I asked Alazade if 4 years ago someone said you would be in Tokyo competing at the Olympics. He responded this way.
I probably would have laughed and been like, oh man, imagine that. Because I was teaching at the time. I wasn't actually rowing competitively at the time. Yeah, I probably would have laughed. I probably would have been like, oh man, yeah, wouldn't that be cool? That's probably what I would have said 4 years ago on the day. And yeah, here we are.
Judy Simons, President of the Bermuda Olympic Association and Secretary General of the Bermuda Olympic Association, Brandon Smith King, are in Tokyo to support the Bermuda athletes as well as scheduled meetings during the Olympic Games.
Ram and I made it. It's been a long journey. But you know, these games, you have to give the Japanese government and the organizing committee kudos for getting us where we are today. They are amazing people, extremely friendly. If you've had issues, they've been very accommodating to us. But for us to get here, even though we have Dara and we have Flora, just to be in the Olympics and having qualified to be here is kudos in itself. And I'm proud of our team that we have, and I'm sure they will give their very best when they go to compete.
I don't have a personal relationship with Flora, but I know her history and I follow her on Instagram. Flora knows what she needs to do.
Yeah.
You know, I think, and she's an experienced professional athlete, she's been allowing herself to internalize about her preparation. What we think, feel, or see really has nothing to do with it. I mean, we have hopes, of course, right? But I think to put those hopes on her is really unfair to a certain extent. And I think, you know, being an elite athlete as she is, she's performed wonderfully, you know, over the years, and she's proven herself, and she's done so well, and she's dedicated her life to being a professional triathlete. And she's really, I think, a wonderful example for our up-and-coming athletes, no matter what sport it is. And so I think we, as Bermudians in a small country, need to support her and make sure that she feels our love and that we're to support her. She totally gets what she needs to do.
Julian Fletcher is running for a position on the International Olympic Committee's Athletes Commission. Fletcher expressed the importance of the Athletes Commission.
The IOC Athletes Commission, it's been a process. You know, I think you know, the way that I need to go about going and getting votes is kind of canvassing in the village and speaking to the athletes and getting to know what ideas and what creative you know, thoughts or recommendations that they have for the Olympic movement, for the IOC, and just stuff to share on the IOC Athletes Commission, and think about, you know, in terms of how the Olympic movement can approach, you know, smaller countries or countries that are developing nations, or you know, how we can improve on our athlete funding, how we can improve on our infrastructure within each NOC, within each country. And you know, the IOC just recently changed their motto to faster, higher, stronger, together, about solidarity and coming together. So I think it's really important in this election to be a good communicator and to really explain and share your thoughts with the athletes. And thus far it's going good. I mean, I get a lot of responses outside of the voting poll stations, and it's really good to be out here face to face with the athletes and explain to them how they can affect change and how we can affect change.
St. George's Cricket Club President Neil Painter has confirmed to IslandStats.com that Onias Bascom, the current club captain, has been confirmed as the St. George's Cricket Club 2021 Cup Match captain. Bascom follows the footsteps of his father, Herbie, and his brother, Arunde, who both previously led the East End Club in the annual Cup Match Classic. Meanwhile, Marcus Scotland was once again amongst the runs as he captained the London Schools to a 195-run victory over the Derbyshire Academy. Opener Scotland was the team's top scorer with 67. Scotland's runs came off of 49 balls, hitting 7 fours and 2 sixes. In reply, the Derbyshire Academy were bowled out for 90. Bermuda's chief medical officer joined islandstats.com to discuss the issue on the denial of members of the Bermuda men's national football team traveling for World Cup qualifiers.
I suppose the first place to start with is that throughout this time, the Ministry of Health, myself and my colleagues, have always tried to work with the BFA and partner with the BFA to get things done. At the very start of our vaccination program, we had a problem with Black middle-aged men getting vaccinated, and one common denominator for that we find with, I know this is a generalization, but it's true in many instances, that this category of people would like sports. So we had started very early to partner with the BFA to help us promote the vaccine messages. So I did speak with the BFA on 2 occasions. I got colleagues in the Ministry of Health and all colleagues in MDL to talk to the BFA before we even started talking to anybody else about the vaccination, to get them on board with this, because we felt they were going to be a veritable partner working with us. But all of that didn't amount to much. For their reasons, they chose not to partner with us. So at the start of the World Cup qualifiers, I was working with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture on proposals on how this could be done. And we set out what we felt was relatively straightforward and relatively safe procedures to keep both the team safe and the country safe out. But basically, they said no, they were not prepared to go with our procedures. One of the things we asked for was about regular testing, and we told them the protection that the vaccine will offer them, offer the team, and allow them to be able to continue training and continue playing. But that was refused. So that it was no surprise. It was expected that they will have an outbreak in the team. And the cases, we found out that actually some of the index for the case was linked to a case we knew in the community. That was entirely predictable. If we had worked together and partnered together as we originally set out, none of this would have happened. And the impression that some of the members, to be fair, wasn't all of BFA. We had some good partners in BFA, but there were some of the members of BFA who thought that they were special, and therefore special rules should apply to them. And the normal rules that everybody else needs to follow doesn't apply to them. Anybody who knows me will know that I seek to be consistent in the way I apply the rules.
Lancaster City booked a place in the final of their own competition, as a Sam Unwin goal was not enough for Nijai Tucker and his Burnley under-23 teammates to mount a successful fight back, going down 2-1. Daniel Augustus competed in the APGA Tour Dare Run in Illinois. Augustus shot a 2-round 4 over par 146. This after rounds of 1 over par 72 and 3 over par 74 to finish tied 17th. Ocean View professionals Brian Morris and Dalwan Borden won the 4th Greg Mabry Professional Golf Cup. Morris and Borden took on Stevie Lambert and Andrew Trott Francis at the Turtle Hill Golf Course, defeating them 3-up. Following the recently concluded Bermuda Motorcycle Racing Association round of circuit racing championships at the Rubis Southside Motorsportsway, IslandStats.com bring you the current point standings in each class. Navia Edwards leads the Matric 70 class with 220 points. Aiden Lopes is leading the Scooter Mark KTM class 125 with 262 points. Janico Place is the current leader in the Scooter 70 class with 200 points, and Edward Coken leading the Scooter Open class with 170 points. And that's a look at the Thursday, July 22nd edition of the Horizon Communications Sports Brief. I'm Earl Basden.